Mr. Dwight Hilton. Morning. It's the most people I've ever had forced to listen to me this morning. Good morning, family, friends, staff, class of 2015. I thank you all for coming today to witness this monumental occasion in the life of my fellow students tonight. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate all my classmates for their accomplishments, having a successful high school career, and being out of Ledford and able to move on to college. The next chapter of our life is going to be big, and I know I'm looking forward for me, and I know each one of you is looking forward to the next chapter in y'all's life. It seems like yesterday we stepped into the halls as freshmen, walking around, getting trampled, worried about who was going to stuff us in lockers and put us in trash cans. I was talking to a friend of mine. Time has always interested me. You know, you wake up every morning, almost every weekday morning of 4 years, you wake up, you do the same thing, you go to the same place. And then one morning, just like the next, the sun comes up, you get out of bed, but you don't have to go to that place anymore. It's kind of interesting, the way that everything in your life can change in just one day. And today is that day. We will no longer wake up and go to school and step into the halls of Ledford. We'll wake up and step into our next chapter of our life. Congratulations, class of 2015. I'd also like to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Dwight Hilton, and as Mr. Brown said, I am honored to stand before you today as a salutatorian for my class. I will be going to North Carolina State University in the fall to pursue a degree in forest management and continue on with that wherever it may take me. The past week, I thought about what I might want to speak on. I honestly didn't really have a graduation speech in mind, one that kind of is, fits and that you would expect to hear at a graduation ceremony. So I thought about the things in my life that are important to me and that have gotten to me to this point over the past 18 years, not as much academically, but just as a person and who I am in character. And things in life that shape who I am are not as much people or experiences, but they're the values that I've been taught and raised by through my whole life. These values are what I believe allows our society to function as it has for years. These values are the same values taught in the Bible, which is the main reason I hold them so dear. I was always brought up to hold that close. I'm talking about the values of honesty, integrity, and commitment. These core principles are the backbone of our society, and I challenge you to find me any example in something in life that does not require all three of these values. Not only have these values structured our society, but they have structured our life and my life for the past 18 years. They are essential elements in the life of every human, and I would encourage my graduating class to hold these in high value as they move forward with their lives. There are a few major things in life where these attributes are clearly evident. The first comes to mind is the military for me. I know several people in our class are going to the military, and I'm proud that I know people and have been around people that are going to go on to serve our country. Any person that is currently in service or has been in service in the past will attest to the fact that you need honesty, integrity, and commitment to survive in service. Over the past few years, there have been a couple movies released that paint a clear yet horrifying picture of the view in the war of the Middle East. And the most recent that I went to see is the movie American Sniper. I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with that. It's the story of the Navy SEAL sniper, Chris Kyle. There's a part in the movie where he is in a position on a rooftop to cover the Marines on the ground, and they're clearing houses. And he doesn't think he's doing anything up there. So he says, I feel helpless up here. I feel useless. And he goes down there and helps the Marines start clearing houses. He says, I'm not going to stand up here and waste my time when I got men down there, when I got family down there doing their job. I got to thinking this week when I was writing this speech, what if these soldiers weren't honest with each other? What if they didn't have integrity? What if they weren't committed to what they were doing? Would you want to be clearing houses behind enemy lines with soldiers that weren't honest, and soldiers that weren't committed to you, and soldiers that didn't have integrity? don't think they would have gotten out alive if they weren't all committed to one another as a core group. They came to survive on individuals on the battlefield. They can only survive as a unit when you're out there on the battlefield. These core values are what hold these units together and allows them to put their lives in each other's hands. The military defends our country, and without honest integrity and commitment, our society could not stand because the unit that defends it could not stand. I urge my fellow students in the class of 2015 that will be going into the military to take these values close and to use them through their service and through their life and take pride in the country you're committed to defending. It's not just the military that needs these core values, it's everyday students. I owe part of my academic success to the moral code I have presented to you today. What is school if there's no honesty, no integrity, no commitment? If our society adapted cheating through school and not being committed to keeping your grades up, there's no point in having an education system that's simply flawed beyond belief and wouldn't be able to stand on its own 2 feet. So, we need these ethics in order to survive in our country because education is another part that is at the foundation of our country. Our country prides itself in the education of the citizens. We're in the top right there with other countries in the East, West, Asia, and Japan. We pride ourselves in being up there with them in education. And without these 3 core values, our education system could not be what it is today. I encourage the class of 2015, as you go on to higher institutions, don't give up your moral code, especially these values I mentioned today. I don't care if you forget Miss Rose's English class or Miss Nalfon's biology class. That's not important in college. I don't care if you forget that. But please do not forget the basic code of ethics that has gotten us all this far and that has gotten our country to this point where it is today. Lastly is the largest example and the most prominent in my life where these values are required for success. It's something we all have, we all need, and we all have experienced. It's the family. I cannot even begin to describe to you how much I lean on my family as I grew up. My family did not even realize that until recently. A family is not an easy thing to be a part of, as we all know. We all have siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, Christmases together, Thanksgivings together. It's great, but sometimes it's not so great. But it allows people to exist on earth, I mean, honestly. No family means no mom and dad, which means no babies, which means no us, since we all were once babies. The world is made up and populated by families. The last thing God created when He created the world was the family, a man and a woman. And why does the Bible say that? To take care of the world that He created. Families are the foundation of our planet, and at the foundation of families is honesty, integrity, and commitment. In our families, we must be honest with one another. My dad has always told me, I don't care what you do, but if you're honest with me, I won't kill you. He says, it doesn't matter what you do, if you're honest with me, you can always come back and say, at least I told you the truth. So you need honesty in a family. Without it, your family builds on false pretenses. And with false pretenses, the family cannot stand the test of time. It will eventually crumble if you build it on a false foundation because you were not honest with one another. Without integrity, the same result is seen. One definition I found on integrity is the state of being whole and undivided. For a family to remain strong, they must remain whole and undivided. The military is a family. Just like it, a real family depends on the commitment of each other to continue on in life. It only takes one person to not be as fully committed as the others for the family to struggle or to suffer or to not last. Family is the only commitment that we as individuals are going to have for our whole life. It never goes away. You go to college, you're committed to your grades, you have honesty, it's great, you're done. You serve in the military, you do your service, you're committed, you have integrity, you're done. Family, you're part of a family from the day you're born to the day you die. There's no way around it. So class of 2015, I encourage you, I stress to you, as we move on, and hopefully one day start a family of our own, I encourage you to remember these values of what makes this world go round and what makes all these three examples that I've given, along with many others, be able to stand like they are today and give us the world that we live in today. So to this day, this country can remain as it is today, with strong families at its core. I'm thankful for my years in high school, all the friends and experiences that I've had, and I look forward to more years and experiences and friends in college. I'd like to thank the staff, Mr. Brown, and most of all, I thank God for the safe high school years that He's given each and every one of us. Now I know you're all tired of listening to me, and you're ready to get this on with, go to the beach. So I would just like to say thank y'all, and congratulations, and I hope y'all have a great summer and rest of your life.